All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Hustle Podcast. My name is John. I'm your host, and we have my co-host.
Gabriel Arambula.
And listen, today we're having a bonus podcast because guess what? We've been in the studio, but not knowing how to use the freaking lights.
Okay, yeah.
But now we do.
So not
because
only that,
I looked at the instructions.
we found the instructions.
I turned it on. It was right there behind a glass.
Yeah.
That Gabe probably thought we couldn't take out, but it was magnetic. I just put it out, turned the flip on, looked at Gabe, and his eyes were like wide open, guys.
Whole new world. So like we're in like an actual like high level like recording studio with multiple cameras.
We got like box lighting as well.
We've just been recording on our cell phones.
And
we're doing this podcast on our cell phones.
Yep. And it's still good quality too.
And it's still good quality, but it's gonna get even better because now we're figuring out how to use this studio. And of course, we want to extend this to guests on our podcast, other loan officers, mortgage brokers, real estate agents, business people, local business people in Orange County. If you're a local business person in Orange County and you would like to hop on our podcast as a guest, reach out to us. We're firm believers in the truth that the more we give, the more we can receive. And that's why we do this podcast.
And by the way, guess what? We found the buttons. I found it right there.
What button?
In the middle top, in front, on top TV, to move the camera.
Oh.
Guess what? We just found more buttons. So you guys are going to get even way higher quality.
Yes.
Way better editing. And we just started 2 weeks ago.
2.5 weeks ago.
2.5 weeks ago.
And we already got what, like 26 podcasts out. This would be the 27th will be the bonus episode, but it's not the 27th because it's a bonus episode.
It's like a 26.5 whatever.
Something like
that. I'm not
going
to call it. I was going to put bonus. I might put it 27. Who cares? So what?
Bonus.27.
That's right.
Or something like that. Or like, 27th episode junior and then 27th episode senior will come out after because... Or no, wait, the senior comes before the junior. I don't know how it's going to pan out, but I'm pretty hyped. I'm excited to be here doing this.
Share your day.
Yeah, it's funny. I was going to mention it was a pretty good day. Great news on a few different fronts. I got an exception on a condition. There was a condition to get a second appraisal on a property because it was just purchased a few months ago. And the appraised value was about $250,000 over the purchase price. And we got conditioned for a second appraisal, gave a little pushback, and we got that condition waived. So that was a huge win. First loan for a brand new broker. He just sent me another loan that I'm going to piece together. So huge wins there. I've got another submission that I'll be putting in today. Another win. Also got some good news on another deal closing out. So like things are moving, things are shaking and baking. Now, what I'm hearing consensus across the board in the real estate market as a whole is that it's just been a little stale.
Yeah.
And it's true. It has been a tad bit stale. Average days on market for homes is longer, right? So homes aren't selling as quick. Buyers are a little hesitant. Sellers are realizing that, they need to make some moves. So they're putting the houses on the market. And, it's an interesting time. It's an interesting time. What are you hearing out there, John, as you're calling mortgage brokers, loan officers? What's the consensus? What's the pulse check?
Yeah, out of a lot of my conversations throughout the day with, LOs and brokers, they're mentioning how it's been dry. It's been dry, borrowers, they're not wanting to buy, like I said, uncertainty. They're scared, right? Because like the rates and whatnot. And they're waiting for the rates to drop. They're trying to get like pandemic rates, back in the day, which
it's not going to happen. When you look at historical data of interest rates, and that's available, through Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, who tracks this stuff. When you look at average interest rates, we're actually at a pretty good spot, right? Average interest rates right now, and again, when we say average, this is if you take all the loans being closed, average them out. This is probably where you're going to land. And, that average rate, for a conventional 30-year fix is going to be somewhere in the upper sixes, low sevens, 15-year fix in the low sixes. If you're getting an FHA loan, you're going to be somewhere in the mid to low sixes. VA loan is going to be hovering right around mid to low sixes as well. So, out there, that's kind of the pulse check on agency rates, non-QM rates, little
Wait,
bit
real quick,
different.
before you share that, like even though like brokers are saying it's a little bit dry right now, at the lender we were still able to fund record breaking month, right? With record breaking month
Last month,
last
yeah.
month, $244 million in funded loans.
Yeah.
Like, can you tell us about how we're able to do that still, even though brokers are saying it's dry?
Yeah, so
Uh,
one of the things that's different about the lender in comparison to a lot of other wholesale lenders is, in addition to having a handful of outside account executives, we have a dedicated inside sales account executive team, and we're shoulder to shoulder with our operations team. And so what that means is, in comparison to other AEs that are outside AEs, which is the norm, who essentially kind of work when and where they want. Well, I mean, like our AEs, we're clocked in and locked in, no less than 8 hours a day. But, if you're like John and I, you're working 10, 11, 12 hours a day,
yeah,
because that's just our speed.
just how we do
And,
it.
and
Yeah.
we're not the only ones. There's other AEs out there putting in that kind of time. And so when you have a large dedicated inside sales account executive staff pulling business
Hmm.
consistently, you're going to break records and hit numbers.
Oh
And
yeah.
then to add to that, when your staff, when your team is shoulder to shoulder in the same office as operations, it's easier to have those conversations to get the needle moving, whether it be getting a file pushed forward through underwriting, conditions reviewed, or getting exceptions requested.
Right.
That enables us to get deals done that other lenders couldn't. But also in conjunction with that, at the lender, we have access to agency products, non-QM products,
Hmm.
business purpose loans, and second liens. So we have a slew of products. Now, to be completely candid, we may not play strong in all realms, specifically, conventional loans, VA loans. Those may not be the strongest, but we have access to them. And having access to everything that's out there gives us the ability to go over numbers of scenarios with brokers and loan officers to piece deals together, which increases our volume, our sales volume, which is why we're hitting record breaking months. So while other people's are slow, we're actually busy, and we
Yeah.
are looking for more underwriters, more funders, more account executives. We're looking to grow our staff here at the lender, which is a great sign. And I feel that the landscape in real estate and lending, it may not change from the overall interest rates, home prices, and things of that nature. We may not see too much of a change, but what I do believe we're going to see is a lot of activity due to pent up buyers just holding their breath, waiting for home prices to drop, waiting for interest rates to drop, finally realizing that they're not dropping. There's no reason. Can someone out there, please, in the comments, DM me, give me a logical explanation of how and why home prices will drop and interest rates will drop in high demand areas like Southern California, like Orange County, like Los Angeles. Can anyone? I don't think they can, because there isn't one. At the end of the day, market moves, as far as home prices are concerned, are going to be based on supply and demand. As far as interest rates are concerned, there's a number of different factors that come into play when determining what interest rates are at or where they sway. Primarily it has to do with the Fed decreasing the funds rate. Now, prior to any moves in the market, such as the Fed decreasing the funds rate, there is always an anticipated result. So, the next Fed meeting, when they're going to discuss decreasing or increasing the funds rate, before that even happens, the market is already gambling and they're estimating that, yay, it's going to happen. No, it's not going to happen. And when the final results come out, the activity in the market is going to be based upon where the actual result is based upon anticipated results. So if the market is anticipating the Fed not to decrease the funds rate and the Fed decreases the funds rate, that's when we could see some moves either north or south. And I say either north or south because right now, in regards to the mortgage rates and market moves that could impact the mortgage rates either north or south, things aren't always working as they normally work. So it's going to be kind of a touch and go, that week, right? When the Fed decrease the fund, when the Fed meeting is, if they're going to decrease the funds rate or not, is going to have a lot to do with the reports that come into play at that time of that meeting or at that week of the meeting. Because when it comes to the Fed decreasing the funds rate, there's a lot of factors, right? Consumer price index is big.
Yep.
The jobs numbers are big. Non-farm payroll numbers are big. Remember, good news in the economy is bad news for the interest rates. Bad news for the economy is good news for interest rates. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Right? Any that resonate with you, John? Any
Yeah.
questions?
It's like for bad news, like people are scared, so like the rates go down, right? And that creates more like the incentive to buy homes.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
And so again, and you bring up a really good point. When mortgage rates go down, more buyers enter into the market because the cost of money is cheap. And so, someone, and again, figurative numbers, I'm just throwing these numbers out there, and I am not a mathematician. I'm very good at using calculators and my tools to make sure numbers are right. So figurative scenario, let's say someone was pre-approved for $500,000.
Yeah.
So pre-approved for $500,000 purchase. If rates go down 1%, that person's pre-approval may go up to $550,000, right? So what happens is a decrease in interest rates is going to cause more buyers to go out into the market. Now, if more buyers are entering into the market, what does that do to home prices, do you think?
Less supply, high demand, prices go up.
Less supply, high demand. And I wouldn't even throw in the supply factor. Let's just even throw in demand, right? So more demand, more demand for homes, more buyers. And so now buyers, instead of competing against maybe one or two other buyers, they're going to be competing against maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30 buyers. This is real, right? So for all you potential home buyers, or if you're looking to buy a home and you're just waiting, holding your breath because your cousin, brother, sister, co-worker who doesn't know their nose from their tail said, hey, home prices are going to fall, just wait, man. You're going to want to wait. You're going to regret it if you don't wait. Or interest rates are going to drop. Don't buy now, wait. Are they even qualified to give you that information? Probably not, right? Because what's going to happen if you wait and interest rates do drop, yeah, you might get a lower interest rate, but that home going to cost you, depending on where you're at, 25, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100,000, 200, $300,000 more than what it would cost you if you got into the market before everyone else. So again, the longer you wait, the more how home prices go up. If interest rates do happen to go down and that's what you're waiting for, and you enter in the market when interest rates go down, best of luck to you, because now you're going to be competing against a ton of other buyers, and it's going to drive home prices up. So yeah, you may save in an interest rate, but now your purchase price has gone up. So are you really winning? I think not. But at the end of the day, the best time to buy a home is when you can get pre-approved to buy a home. You can find a home that meets your needs, wants, and desires, and you can afford that monthly payment comfortably. That's when the best time to buy a home is. So if you're pre-approved and you find that home and you can afford the payment, do not let someone stop you from moving forward. Someone tells you, hey, just wait, it's going to get better. Well, you don't know that. You don't know. Are they psychic? Have you? I'm not psychic, but one
I'm
thing
not
I do
either.
know
Yeah.
is that historical data proves that home prices go up over time. Historical data also proves that when interest rates drop, more buyers enter into the market. So I could tell you about historical data, but I can't predict the future. And I can't tell you that home prices are going to drop. I can't tell you that interest rates are going to drop. I don't know that for a fact. But what I do know is that historical data, in my professional experience, tells me that the likelihood of home prices dropping and interest rates dropping is slim to none. So good luck, bucko. That's all I have to
Good
say.
luck.
Good luck. I don't even know who bucko is.
I don't know. Bucko or buckwheat.
Who is bucko? But like, are you like within your friends or your circle or people you talk to? Do you hear people saying things like that? I've been doing this for a couple of decades, so you know, people that I know, I educate them, and they're pretty privy to the realities of the
Yeah.
market. So I don't hear that often,
What
but consumers tell me that sometimes.
What would you tell somebody that thinks it's more beneficial to rent a house as opposed to like actually owning a home and building equity?
I would ask them why. Explain it to
Yeah.
me.
Maybe they want like freedom to like travel, not be tied to a house.
They still got to pay rent.
Yeah.
You have a lease. You have a lease. You want to go to Europe for a month, and you want to come back home. You're going to pay that lease, right? So why wouldn't you purchase a home, right? Why wouldn't you purchase real estate? Now, some folks may be opposed to doing so because the they might have to downsize. They might not be able to afford a lateral move or a move up, or even they may be able to afford a lateral move, but they're thinking, I want to move up. I want to move. If I'm going to move, John, I want to move into something better, bigger, badder. But they don't qualify for it, so they stay renting. That's a mistake, because you need to get into the market to take advantage of the market. You're not going to be able to take advantage of the market unless you're already in the market. Otherwise, the market, you're going to be basically subject to the market. Right? If you're in the market already, meaning you already have real estate, you're taking advantage of the appreciation. You're taking advantage of earned equity. You have to get into the market. You have to get in the market. The sooner you get in the market, the better it is going to be for you. The better you're going to be able to take advantage of equity and the benefits of home ownership. So if you're interested in entering into the market and something is holding you back and you do not know what to do or where to go, and you have questions that you need answers to, reach out to us. All our contact information is going to be in the notes to the podcast. If this is a clip, it's going to be in a caption. It's going to be in our bio. Comment, message us, reach out to us. We want to add value to you. We may not be the ones helping you directly as a potential home buyer or shopping for a home, but we could point you in the right direction. We got a network of hundreds of real estate agents, loan officers across the country in all 50 states.
Yep.
And we just want to help you. So let us know. If you don't know what to do, contact us. If you need a home loan and you're not sure what direction to go in, reach out to us. We're just going to provide you free, valuable information, asking for nothing in return. Just keep us in your thoughts and prayers.
That's right. All right, cool, guys. Well, that concludes the bonus episode of the Hustle Podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, if you enjoyed it, like, comment, share with friends if you guys gain value from it. And that's it.
By the way, until
next time, better lights.
Oh, yeah. Follow us. Subscribe to the podcast.
Follow for more.
Share. All that stuff.